Well, shit. Doesn't get any more random than this, guys. I was sitting down on my computer, doing a few things. Said, fuck it. Let's test some shit out. Let's go live. See if anyone wants to show up and talk. If nobody wants to show up and talk, that's cool too. But my team's losing. Playoffs tonight, and I don't feel like watching them get smoked anymore. So, fuck it. Said I'd go live. Scheduled it like literally less than a minute ago, and said, fuck it. I'm just going to go live. So if anyone shows up, that's cool. If nobody does, that's cool too. You know me, I can just fucking sit here and ramble, so not a big deal. But I was thinking about today about some Friday the 13th stuff, and what I was thinking about was Final Girls in the Friday the 13th franchise. Okay, Final Girls. There are only 2 movies in this franchise that have solo survivors, where the final girls are the solo survivors in the Friday the 13th franchise. I assumed it was like 75% of the franchise was, where just the final girl was the sole survivor. But I started thinking about it this morning, and there's only 2 movies where it's just the final girl as a sole survivor. Every other movie in the franchise, besides the first one and the third one, there is the final girl and then someone else, whether it's her love interest, which is pretty much most of the later sequels, or Friday the 13th Part 4. Trish has her little brother Tommy. Friday the 13th Part 2, Paul, right, is with Trish. Part 5, you have you got what's her face, Pam, Reggie the Reckless, and Tommy all survive. Part 6, obviously you got Tommy and Megan. 7, you got Tina and Nick. Part 8, you got Rennie and Sean, and on and on and on. So I just kind of, like I said, I just kind of assumed that in the Friday the 13th franchise, 80% of the movies, I would assume that the final girl is the sole survivor. But in every movie but 2 in the franchise, she is surviving with someone else, and that doesn't mean anything. I just found it kind of interesting when I was searching, or when I was thinking about stuff, that I just found it interesting. So yeah. So if you're just joining me, guys, I literally have no plan here. I just kind of popped up and decided to do this, and decided to test some stuff out. I was going to test it out. Hold on one second. I was going to test it out just on my computer, and I said, fuck it. I'll go live. I don't really give a fuck. What's the difference? So I'm testing out this chat box here. So I just want to see something. Okay, I'm going to pop out chat. 1 second. I want to see if I can get the chat to show up on screen here. There we go. Here we go. Oh, geez. And Blake is already sending in money. God damn it, Blake. $1.99 from Blake from All the Good Names Are Taken. Blake, thank you. Stop giving me money, dude. I appreciate it, but please stop it. Allie's here. Allie says she's watching Smile. Holy crap. I gotta see that. I just got Paramount back finally. And finally I can watch it now. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in what that movie is about. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna flip something here. Like I said, I'm just testing out this chat box here on OBS. I'm gonna make it a little bigger here, so everyone can see that Blake is rich and giving me money. But yeah, I need to see Smile. I've heard a lot of good things about that movie, and haven't had a chance to see it yet. Hold on 1 second, guys. Here we go. There we go. Jesus. Okay. Now we're good. Review it. Rob is here. What's up, Rob? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Blake says I enjoyed it a lot better than the Stars game yesterday. Dude, I'm the reason I came on is was watching Milwaukee Bucks, and Giannis isn't playing. They're getting smoked, and I just can't. I just can't stomach it anymore. I'm frustrated. So it was either sit on the couch or test some YouTube shit out. And like I said, I just decided to go live while I was testing it out because I don't care. What's the difference, right? What's the difference? But yeah, so thanks for anyone that showed up. Not really sure what I'm going to talk about, but like I said, I was thinking about Friday the 13th earlier, thinking about Final Girls, and tell me in the chat, who is your favorite Final Girl in the franchise? For me, it's Ginny, kind of above the rest, and then it gets a little tricky. I really like Chris from Friday the 13th Part 3, but I think I might be jaded a little bit. Because it's the first movie in the franchise I saw, and Richard Brooker's my favorite Jason, and I just love that final chase scene. But in the later movies, so I'm talking about like from Part 7 onward, who is your favorite Final Girl? Who do you think's the best Final Girl? Tina obviously would kick every other Final Girl's ass in the franchise, but just tell me who your favorite Final Girl in the franchise is. I'm wondering how divisive it would be because most of them are pretty damn forgettable. So Ronnie says, I like this idea. Nick scrolling live stream is a cool look. Yeah, I saw Lee McCoy do it, or I've seen him do it before, and I wanted to kind of test it out. He gets his a little skinnier. I'm gonna have to play around with it, but I just wanted to see how it would work. And like I said, we'll just I don't know. We'll just play around with it, see what happens. So I'm toying around with some things here, trying to make some changes to the channel, and I figure I'll just do it on the fly. My viewers are nice enough where they can bear with me and deal with my bullshit. They've dealt with it enough, so yeah. All right, let's see who else we got. What else we got going on here? Michael Joe says, "Sup guys? What's up, Michael? How you doing?" Review at Rob says, "Can I out myself here? Don't know the Friday the 13th franchise too well. Can I say Corey Feldman even though he's not a girl?" Yes, you can, Rob. Corey Feldman's awesome as Tommy Jarvis. He had a hell of a run there from 84 with both Friday the 13th Part 4 and the Gremlins. Then Goonies, I believe, was in 85 the next year. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then just so on. Feldman was on fire. And him and Haim were great in the 80s. Lost Boys, obviously, in 87, I believe. But yeah, Corey Feldman. I always feel so bad when I see Corey Feldman, like, in Gremlins, for instance, because he's just such an innocent-looking kid. And knowing what him and Haim went through in the mid to late 80s, with all the Hollywood bullshit behind the scenes, it's just kind of heartbreaking. And, you wonder, obviously, that had a huge effect on, Feldman and Haim obviously as well. Unfortunately, you just wonder what could have been, because Feldman obviously got really weird as the decade progressed, and he's even weirder now. But yeah, Diamond Rattler says Chris from 3D sticks out for me. Yeah, me too. Chris is interesting because I don't think Dana Kimmel is a great actress, and that's saying something for this franchise, because there's not a lot of great acting in the Friday the 13th franchise, and Dana Kimmel's even a rung below in my book. But when it's her versus Jason at the end, and they go from the house to the upstairs of the house, then through the window, then to the van, then to the barn, her acting, she plays a good scared person. So yeah, I like Chris from Part 3 as well. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. Is everyone having a good Saturday night? You guys got nothing better to do than to show up to my channel? Come on, guys, come on. I'm kidding. Like I said, I really appreciated everyone showing up, because I didn't plan this at all, and just wanted to pop on for a bit and see what was going on. And so I wanted to kind of test how this rolling chat was going to look here. Still want to tweak it a little bit, but it's going well so far. So I like it. Well, we'll see. I might incorporate this in the future, and move my picture over and have like a kind of like a set box or something like that. Because then I don't have to keep looking to my second screen over here. You know, when I'm on camera and I'm reading the chat, you know, I'm not even looking at the camera. You know, so I like that I can kind of just see the chat as it goes here. So yeah. Let's talk about something else for a second besides Friday the 13th. Let's talk about Halloween, guys. So I did a show with Bud, a new bi-weekly show we're doing called Take It to the Grave, where we went over the best moments from the David Gordon Green trilogy. Okay? Best moments. And our next show, we're going to do the worst moments. So, do you guys have a worst moment from the David Gordon Green trilogy? Help me brainstorm here, guys. Help me brainstorm. Ronnie says, do a picture instead of a video of you. Dude, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. The worst part about looking at camera is seeing myself, because I don't like fucking looking at myself. Does anyone like looking at themselves? You know, but I think it's important that people can, you know, it's better to interact with the audience. But yeah, I would love just to have a fucking picture. Live like you are on location. That actually is not a bad idea at all. Chris Daniel says that it ended. You're talking about the David Gordon Green trilogy. Yeah, this is divisive. And I think every movie from here on out, you know, till we're all dead, is going to be divisive. Anytime there's passionate fans, shit is going to be divisive. Because nobody these days, and I've said this before, and I'm going to fucking just bang it on a drum, nobody these days can look at something and say, hey, that was okay. That was okay. That was decent. There was things I liked. There were things I don't like. No, it's like, that was awesome. Or that fucking sucked. You know, there's just absolutely no middle ground anymore. You see it in movies. You see it in politics. You see it in sports. You see it everywhere. It is sad. It is really, really sad. But it's the world we live in. So when you come on YouTube and you put yourself out there, you know, you want to state your opinions and state them in as informed as possible. But it's hard not to, you know, just jump from one side to the other. I try to look at it from both ways, because even with Halloween Ends, okay, and I kind of like Halloween Ends. I don't love it, but I kind of like it. Is it how they should have ended the trilogy? Fuck no. That was a fucking idiotic decision. So dumb. But from a story perspective, and what they did with the character of Corey, besides a few scenes, I enjoyed it. I was all in. But I completely understand why people can't stand that shit. I understand it. I absolutely understand it. So, you know, it's just, it's interesting. It's just very, very, very interesting that everyone just has to kind of go balls to the wall each way. And, you know, even Halloween 78 has things that, you know, it's not a perfect movie. It isn't. It's my favorite horror movie of all time, but it's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. But God, is it amazing. You know, so it's just important that we all remember that, you know, these are just fucking movies, guys. These are just movies. Let's all just relax a little bit and not be at each other's throats. All right, let's see what we got going in the chat, because, you know, I'm getting preachy here. Review it. Rob says, I will gladly say that stuff about films. I try not to be negative and never tell people not to watch a movie. Yeah, you know, I don't like when someone tells me not to watch something either. It's hard not to be negative when you hate a film. You know, I can tell people why I didn't like it, but see it for yourself, you know. I'm with you. Blake says, Nick, I still say that Ends is better than Halloween 6 and Resurrection. Maybe better than H2O. Yeah, yeah. So I would probably rather, I know I'd rather watch Halloween 6 than Halloween Ends. But that doesn't mean Halloween 6 or Halloween Ends is a better, or sorry, that doesn't mean Halloween 6 is a better movie than Ends. You know, we all have our preferences. And, you know, there's 50 things probably in Ends that are better than Halloween 6, and, you know, 40 things in Halloween 6 that are better than Ends, not being the story, you know. So it's interesting. Oh, Ronnie says sexiest woman in the Halloween franchise. The Halloween franchise, huh? Jesus. I would say anyone that says Danielle Harris because they're thinking of Rob Zombie films would be fucking sick, because I can't stand the fact that they had nude scenes with Danielle Harris in the Rob Zombie films. It just doesn't feel right. You know, we saw her as a kid. But that's neither here nor there. So I would probably say gotta be one of the nurses from Halloween 2. Maybe, and probably not Karen. Maybe one of the blonde nurses from Halloween 2 would probably be my pick. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Blake agrees with me. Got to be one of the nurses in part 2. Yep. Rob says Andy or Michelle Williams. Andy Manichek. Yeah, she's good looking. Diamond Redder says, "Oh, the hospital stuff is a downer too in Kills." Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be talking ad nauseum about that hospital stuff in Halloween Kills. Fucking Halloween Kills has some of the highest highs that we've seen in a lot of years, and some of the lowest lows that we've seen in a lot of years. And in my opinion, you know, there's so much good Michael stuff, and the flashback is my favorite thing we've seen in the franchise in 30 years since Halloween 4. That flashback is the best thing since then. Chris Daniel says Mrs. Blankenship. Oh yeah. But then Kills has, you know, the hospital stuff, which is fucking terrible in my opinion. Kills to this day. There are so many scenes I want to watch, but I fast forward through shit. I absolutely fast forward through shit. Oh my God. All right. Blake just got into something that is a great point here. He says, let's talk about how John Larroquette was wasted in the movie Summer Rental. Absolutely agree. First of all, Summer Rental is fucking awesome. Might be, it's in my top probably 3 or maybe top 4 John Candy films. But yeah, Larroquette is wasted in that movie. You know, he should have been sleeping with Candy's wife, right? You know, like he was set up as someone that was gonna, you know, be sleeping with Candy's wife, and then he ended up just being a nice guy that was cheering him on at the end. You know, where was that turn? I'm with you, Blake. Larroquette was wasted. You know who wasn't wasted though was Rip Torn. Rip Torn is fucking incredible in that movie. Yeah. Ronnie, I'm right on cue here. Ronnie says, "I bet there was an affair angle." Yep, there absolutely had to be. And Larroquette, that might have been before Larroquette started playing the jerks that he always played. You know what Larroquette is a good villain in? Hear me out. Richie Rich. You guys ever see Richie Rich from the 90s? Oh, dude, I have so much nostalgia with Richie Rich. Man, Macaulay Culkin is great in that movie. But yeah, John Larroquette plays the villain. So yeah. Ronnie says it's his favorite John Candy film. My favorite Candy films, my number 1 is probably Uncle Buck. Number 2 is The Great Outdoors. 3 is probably Summer Rental. I think those would be my top 3 Candy films in that order. They're so good. God, I miss John Candy. Yeah. Blake says he's also good in Stripes. Yeah, and Madhouse. Ronnie says yes. Yes, 2 movies. He hears about Stripes all the time. I think Halloween Movie Collector. That's another YouTube channel you guys should go check out. I think he just did a watch along of Stripes maybe a week or so ago, or days ago, or something like that. But yeah, I'd encourage you guys to check out that channel. It's Pat and Brett, I want to say. They seem like good guys. They know their horror. They know their movies. So yeah, I would encourage you guys to go check them out. The Halloween Movie Collector, I believe the channel is called. There are a lot of good YouTube channels out there. I've been just kind of searching. Because what Blake started getting me into, Blake and Ronnie from All the Good Names Are Taken podcast. I'm not going to tell you guys to go check out their channel because I assume you already have. If you haven't, go check it out. But Blake all of a sudden is finding all these random YouTube channels. And a lot of them are small channels. And they end up being really fucking good. People that really know their shit. You know, the YouTube algorithm is interesting because, you know, the more subs you have, the easier it is to get more subs, right? It's human nature. You know, you go onto a stream and there's 80 people on there and a channel has 15K subs. You know, you're like, oh, I assume everyone else likes what I like, and this channel is good enough for them to sub to. I'm going to sub to it. It's easy. It's human nature, right? But there are so many smaller YouTube channels out there with just a few hundred subs, or, you know, a small number of subs, or 1,000 subs, or something like that, right? Or me, like, you know, not a lot of subs, right? You know, but there are so many channels. I'm not talking about mine, by the way. There's so many channels that are really good with people that know their stuff, that put out good content and stuff like that, that I wish YouTube made it easier to find. Because a lot of times, you know, I just find them randomly, or I find them because Blake has them in the background of some of him and Ronnie's videos. So I would encourage you guys just to kind of search through YouTube and give some of these smaller channels with like a couple hundred subs, give them a chance. You know, a lot of times, you know, you're just going to dismiss them, or you're going to go to watch YouTuber A who's got 30,000 subs. You're going to watch his newest video. Check out some of these other channels, because a lot of them, either they deserve more subs, or they deserve you know, more views and things like that, or they're going to get to where, you know, where some of these other channels are. So I would encourage that, because it's tough to get into the YouTube game, especially now. You know, you get in and you got, don't worry, I'm going to talk about horror again in a second here. But you get in and you got, you ask your friends or people you know to sub, and then you got 40 subs or something, right? And then you make a video and, oh shit, you got a view, it's hard, especially now. Especially now, because there's so many channels that are more established these days. I would hate to be starting a YouTube channel right now. I would absolutely hate it. You know, if I didn't have a kind of a built-in audience, or built-in people that, you know, watch me or things like that, it'd be tough to get new viewers. And I don't need new viewers. I'm perfectly happy with where I am. Because everyone, like right now, everyone in the chat, you guys are fucking fantastic. Every single person in here has been nothing but nice to me, supportive, even when they don't agree with me. You know, everyone's great. And I've met so many other people from other channels. And like Blake says, for the most part, everyone is cool. So like I said, that's just kind of my spiel on telling you guys to go check out some of these smaller YouTube channels. Give them a chance. They might not be for you. Maybe they're assholes. I don't know. But there's a lot of good channels out there that are really small, whether they're starting out or they just haven't found their audience yet. Give them a chance. And if you find any, send them my way too, because I would love to meet some of these people from other channels and check them out, because like I said, it's hard. It's really hard to be starting a YouTube channel. All right, let's see what we got going on in the chat, and then we can talk some more horror, or John Candy, or whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. Let's see. Ronnie says, Grande's Graveyard is a great channel for really smart horror fans. Oh, that's not me. But no, I'll check that out. Grande's Graveyard. I like that name. Blake is watching Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan. Now, Blake, how many times a week do you watch a Hulk Hogan movie? How many Hulk Hogan movies are there? There's got to be like, what? 8, maybe? Somewhere around there, right? Diamond Rattler says, yeah, I don't even remember how I stumbled upon your channel. I must have been searching up Halloween stuff and just subbed. Yeah, you've been here for a while now, Diamond. Probably when I was making all my Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends theory videos, because I went nuts with that. Because I like talking that shit. I think it's fun. I think it's fascinating. And I was wrong on every single fucking one, I think, but it's still fun to talk about. And we need something to build up these movies, right? Especially now, because now all of a sudden, oh shit, there's nothing really to look forward to. Well, Scream 7 next year, okay. I know Evil Dead Evil Dead fans are happy today because Evil Dead Rising or Evil Dead Rises or whatever came out this weekend. Actually heard good things about that. I'll check it out at some point. It's just not a movie that I'm gonna go to the theater and see. Let's see. Ellie says, "I'm so glad I love Halloween as much as I do because that is how I found you, Bud, and Jake, and Blake, and Ronnie." Yep. Yeah, I know. And Allie's great. Ellie never misses a show. And I assume Ellie will be on the. They got Back to the Future trivia tomorrow on Jake Blaster's channel, I believe. So yeah, that'll be fun. So I'm sure Ellie will go, and I heard she struggled at Die Hard. So yeah, better showing tomorrow, Ellie. That's what I expect from you. Review it, Rob says, yeah, it's a long haul process. We got good things going on with the Thrill Me Podcast Network that we just started up and love it. Tough but worth it. Yeah, that Thrill Me Podcast with you and Zach and and Nick and the whole other gang. It's a cool idea to kind of combine all these people into one kind of network, and you can kind of join forces and encourage each other and and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm with you. It's tough. Michael Joe says, "I hope Scream 7 is the last movie of the franchise." Me too, Michael. Me too. Because eventually, what's going to happen, if it hasn't started happening already, eventually what's going to happen is they're going to start getting shitty. But they're still going to make money, so then they're just going to get shittier and shittier because they're just going to be churning shit out because it's going to make a profit. It's the same thing that happened with Halloween. It's the same thing that happened with Friday. Friday's formula was pretty straightforward. It's definitely the same thing that happened with The Nightmare on Elm Street. So it will happen to Scream at some point. Scream has been immune to that bug so far. Maybe it got a vaccination that actually works. So yeah, I'm with you. I hope Scream 7's the last one too. Ronnie says, Quentin loves trains and horror. Yeah, go check out Quentin's channel. Quentin's a good guy. He's showing up on some of my videos. He's giving me some shout outs on his videos. Quentin is a very nice guy, and he's a passionate horror fan, which you can't fake that shit. If you come on YouTube and you're only here to get subscribers or get views, but you don't care about what you're talking about, people fucking see through that shit, and Quentin's a passionate horror fan, and I respect that. So good call out, Ronnie. Wayne Turner is here from Australia again. What's up, Wayne? How are you, buddy? Thanks for showing up. Chris Daniel says, is Radio Silence doing Scream 7? They've BWM announced for Universal Horror. What does BW mean? Am I like half asleep right now? I've heard that, but to answer your question, I've heard that Radio Silence might be out for Scream 7, but I don't think that's been officially confirmed yet. And it'll be interesting. I don't see why they'd be out when they've had two very successful movies here, but who knows with the Hollywood politics behind the scene and all that bullshit. Ellie says, I'm going to do some more study in here. There's so many small things that you could make a question out of. It's going to be hard. Yeah, I'm sure there's, in Back to the Future, there's a lot of like background things that could be hard on those questions. Blake says, Nick, Chinese food or Mexican food? I am going to go Mexican food because I don't like Chinese food, and I love Mexican food. So that's an easy question there, Blake. Actually, I had Mexican food tonight before I came on, which means I'll probably have to end the stream soon and hit the bathroom. But no, I love Mexican food. Let's see what else we got going on here. Do you guys like this scrolling chat or no? Is it distracting? I wonder how it is for the viewer, because technically, if you're watching on your phone, you can see the chat below anyway, right? So you're seeing it in two spots. It might be distracting. And obviously, if I continue to do this in the future, I'm going to, move my move where my camera is, and I'll get a special little box for it. But yeah. Wayne says, anyone see Evil Dead Rise? I haven't yet. Non-spoiler thoughts. Yeah, I have not seen it, Wayne. I will probably wait till streaming because I just, I like Evil Dead, the Evil Dead franchise, but I don't like it enough to pay $18 or whatever the fuck they charge nowadays. So yeah, but I've heard decent things about it. I've heard it's good. Ronnie wants to know, what was your order? My order was, what did I get? Oh, I got flautas. Blackened chicken flautas with cheese and sour cream and pico. It's good. It's very good, actually. Let's see. Diamond Rattler says it was all right, Wayne. People hyped it up too much, in my opinion. Yeah, it at this point, in some of these franchises, not really Evil Dead, but some of these franchises, people are so desperate just to get a movie that is decent that they'll hype the shit out of it. So yeah. But I've heard decent things about Evil Dead Rise. I really have. I liked the 2013 remake. DMT Infinity in the house. Says, sorry I'm late, fam. I'm still working at the shop. I get off in an hour. Enjoy the show, everyone, and have a wonderful night, Nick. Cheers. Next dab hit is for you. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy your last hour of work. All right, Diamond Rattler. Your theater only charges $5. What the fuck? Damn. I'm telling you, it's like $18 where I'm at. It's ridiculous. Okay, Scott says matinee is $5 on Tuesdays at Regal. Let's see here. Yeah, he probably works at a vape shop. That would be my guess too. All right. 1 second. I just want to move this a little bit here. All right. So, what's the next horror movie coming out, or movie in general coming out? While I'm thinking of that, a couple things that are going on my channel here in the future. I'm debating a couple things right now. So I've been doing these Monday night reviews of movies, and I started in the 90s just because I feel like 90s get overlooked and nobody talks about the 90s too much. And I've been letting the live viewers vote. The winning vote last week was The Sandlot, which would be an alright movie to review. So I'm doing that. I also have a members request to review the movie Idle Hands, which I just got done watching a little while ago. So that'll be coming out soon. And then what I'm thinking of doing is because of the time of year, I'm thinking of going through the Friday the 13th franchise and doing my live reviews on the Friday the 13th franchise. So I would do it the same way I've been doing it, where I choose, the MVP, the best scene, and things like that, and just go Friday the 13th franchise from the first one all the way to the last one, because, by the time I get to the last one, it's going to be, into the middle of summer, and, Friday the 13th I feel like it's something I got to talk about in the summer. That's what I was planning on doing. And then I was watching Blake and Ronnie's show last night, where they talked about why Friday the 13th Part 8 is great. And Ronnie made an offhand comment that broke my heart and just killed my spirit when he said something to the effect of, we could be like all the other channels and just go through the franchise. I was like, God damn it, man, I was just going to do that. I might do it anyway because I don't care. But yeah, I just thought that was funny that I was starting to plan that out, and then boom, Ronnie just rains on my parade and he doesn't even know it. But yeah, so yeah, I'm probably still gonna do that, and we'll see what happens. But I am enjoying kind of just focusing on a single movie. I like making the rankings. I'm still gonna do the rankings. Those are always fun and people like those. But for me, it's nice just to kind of talk about one movie and then kind of break down specific things in that movie. So I'll probably continue doing that at least once a week moving forward. Ronnie says Encino Man. I know, dude. I wanted Encino Man to win the poll a couple weeks ago because I love Encino Man. I need to rewatch that. That's got a hell of a cast, right there. Slay Knot, what's up, Slay Knot? Says, can't wait to see the new Salem's Lot. Yeah, actually, that is one that I'm looking forward to. I love the old Salem's Lot. I think that was like a mini series back in the late 70s, I want to say. But I loved what they did with that. I think that was Toby Hooper, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, though. But I think if it wasn't Toby Hooper, I think Toby Hooper was involved in some capacity. Wayne Turner says Jessica Alba in Idle Hands. Yeah, I remember being a kid, and I was enthralled with her. That's for sure. Let's see. Everyone likes Idle Hands. Yeah, I just watched it again tonight. It was good. It was exactly how I remember it. Adam Howard, what's up, Adam? Says, I'd love a direct sequel to Scream set in Woodsboro with all the original cast 25 to 30 years later. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. So essentially, would you get rid of, all the sequels then, or what? How would you do that? But that would be cool. And I bet you they'd all do it too, because it seems like they all get along, the whole cast. Oh, Son-in-Law. Son-in-Law. I love Son-in-Law. I'm going to be reviewing that. I'm just waiting for Thanksgiving time. But Son-in-Law is great. Mark Mack, we were just talking about you. I was just talking about that I watched Idle Hands tonight because you're having me review that for your membership video. So that's kind of what you missed. And Ronnie says Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'm pumped for Indiana Jones. More cautiously optimistic, I would say, because I'm like 70% pumped, 30% scared. So we'll go cautiously optimistic. But I liked what I saw in the trailer. So, yeah. I mean, as you guys know, just because a trailer's great doesn't mean the movie's going to be great, and vice versa. If a trailer's shitty, doesn't mean the movie's going to be shitty. So yeah, but I'm excited for Indiana Jones for sure. The Faculty, yeah, Faculty's good. I think I have that on VHS and DVD. But yeah, I love The Faculty. I just watched that maybe a month ago or so. That's another movie with a great cast. That's definitely another movie with a great cast. Rob says, what did you think of the Insidious 5 trailer? I have not seen the Insidious 5 trailer. I know it's called, is it called The Red Door or something like that, right? I haven't watched the trailer yet. I don't know why, I just haven't gotten around to it. Busy week. But that'll be interesting, because isn't, what's his face, Patrick Wilson directing this movie? I loved the first Insidious movie. Fucking loved it. I thought it was one of the scariest movies of the last 15, 20 years. Second one wasn't as good at all. But what they did with the other couple, I thought they were okay. I thought the other couple were okay. They kind of went back in time with Lin Shaye's character. I think they fucked up by killing Lin Shaye's character at the end of the first movie, and then they realized they had a hit on their hands, so they're gonna make a franchise, and then they had to get Lin Shaye back in there, so they had to go, to the past. But I think they made it work all right. But Insidious 5, that's one I'll definitely be seeing. I just haven't got around to watching the trailer yet. Blake says Suns in 4. Fuck the Suns. Fuck Kevin Durant, man. Ugh, can't stand that guy. But no, the Bucks. Well, pretty sure the Bucks just lost. But as long as Giannis is back as healthy, the Bucks got smoked. As long as Giannis is back is healthy, I think they will be okay. But we can't go down 3-1 to Miami because that's a little scary. Wayne Turner says, will Chad be a cyborg in Scream 7? I think he was a cyborg in Scream 6, man. Like, Jesus. Let's see. Blake says, favorite pizza franchise, Nick? Papa John's. I love Papa John's. I didn't say I love Papa John. I said I love Papa John's pizza because I know your next question, Blake. But yeah, I'm a Papa John's guy. I'd probably go Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and then Domino's has improved actually a lot lately. I think Domino's product in the last 7 or 8 years has really improved. But I mostly like kind of local pizzerias, to be honest. Chris Fantazi is here. What's up, Chris? Says he wants to see Crispin. All right, I'll give you Crispin here, Fantazi. 1 second. I think that's how Fantazi dances and falls off stage, is apparently from what I've heard. But yeah, how you doing, Chris? Mark Mack says Begar's Pizza. Never heard of that one. That's interesting. Begar's Pizza. Must not be any of those from where I'm at, or where the couple different places in the country I've lived have not had that. Let's see here. Ronnie says, how many McNuggets could you eat in a single sitting? Dude, I used to work at McDonald's when I was like 14. And I can tell you, man, it was different back then, obviously. I could probably eat, I don't know, a 20 piece, but not much more than that. We used to fuck around, man. You could eat 200? No way. 200. 200 McNuggets. There's no fucking way, Ronnie. There's no way anyone could eat 200 McNuggets in one sitting. No chance. No chance. 50? Man. Philip Morgan's here. Hey, Philip, how are you? Yeah, I'm with you, Allie. The most I could eat was 20. All right, Wayne Turner says, my fellow Aussies took over horror in the USA. James Wan and Leigh Whannell, co-creators of Saw. Wan created The Conjuring and Insidious movies. Yeah, dude, Wan and Linnell are great. And I think they met in college, right? And then so I think they met in college, and I don't know if it was during college or what, but they kind of created Saw as kind of a low budget film together, and so low budget, in fact, that Leigh Whannell is the dead guy, I believe, in Saw. And boom, they're both huge now. And James Wan probably, of any director in the past 20 years or so, at least, probably 25, Wan probably is the biggest master at creating tension. And I know people will say Ari Aster, right? What about Ari Aster? I don't know if Ari Aster is good at creating tension. He is good at creating the uncomfortability of something, but being uncomfortable and having tension are two different things. So Ari Aster is a master at making the audience uncomfortable, okay? But James Wan is he is the best in the business right now at, creating tension. And go watch the original Insidious. Go watch the first Conjuring, or especially, even the second Conjuring, right? Go watch those two movies, and James Wan is, he should teach a class on that, because, it's some of the most tension we'd seen in a long, long time in those movies. Let's see what else we got. Blake, best fast food burger: Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, or other? Well, I guess that depends. It depends. I guess you can't call Five Guys fast food, right? Would you call Five Guys fast food? Because if it's Five Guys is fast food, then I'll say Five Guys. Choosing from your list there, Wendy's. If we're talking burgers, probably Wendy's burgers and McDonald's fries. That'd be my. That'd be kind of my choice from that list. Reviewer Rob says, Ari isn't for me. Glad people enjoy his work. Yeah, I'm glad people enjoy his work too. I think his movies are extremely well made, and I think he accomplishes his mission in those movies, whether it's Midsommar, whether it's Hereditary, whether it's some of his newer stuff that I probably haven't seen yet. He accomplishes what he sets out to accomplish as a director, which is great. But some of it's not my cup of tea. getting through a little bit of Midsummer was a little bit of a slog for me. But the movie's effective. And it's a well-made movie. And anyone that says that, it's not well-made, you're just lying to yourself. You can say you don't like it, but you can't say it's not well-made. And I know people say, film is subjective, right? Film is subjective. You can't tell me something's well-made. Yes, it's subjective, but there are certain objectives in film that tell us whether something is well-made or not. How you feel about certain aspects of that film are 100% subjective. But there's certain criteria, that tells us based on all kinds of different factors whether something's well made or not. But Ari's, he's not really my cup of tea either. But he's good. He's really good, and people love it. Chris Fantazi was a vegan for 28 years. Really, Chris? Wow. There's a episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it just cracks me up. Where Frank, Danny DeVito's character, is testing out knives on a shoe, and he's like, let's say you're cutting up a nice steak, right? And she goes, oh, I'm a vegan. He goes, okay, well, let's say we're cutting up whatever it is you people eat. Maybe it is a shoe. And it just cracks me up. Because I don't even know what fucking vegan is, man. But I have a sister who's vegan, so I like to make fun of it. So I'm not making fun of you, Chris. All right, Wayne Turner with a little history lesson here for me on Saw. Saw first got pitched in Australia. The Australian film industry rejected it, so they took it to the USA. The rest is history. Man. So we stole Saw from you. We stole Crocodile Dundee from you. Damn, Wayne. We are bastards. We are bastards. But you guys had a chance, it looks like, at Saw and turned it down. That's unfortunate. But yeah, the original Saw is so different than the rest of the franchise, Obviously, it became, torture porn, which is the popular phrase nowadays. But that's not really what the first Saw was about. Yes, there were some gross aspects, and yes, Cary Elwes, sawed off his own fucking ankle. But it wasn't just a movie of traps and needles and all kinds of shit. So the first Saw is interesting. All right, Chris says it means you don't ingest or wear any animal products. Got it. Okay, that's a simple definition. Nobody has ever defined it that simply to me. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man. Wayne says Hereditary was a good comedy. Yeah, there's certain aspects of it where it's kind of like that uncomfortable humor, and then certain aspects where it's just like, holy fuck, man, holy fuck. Ronnie is part Indian. He's wearing moccasins. Dude, I used to have moccasins. Moccasins are awesome. Philip Morgan says the first Saw was a good story, and so was 2. Yeah, 2 is not bad. That needle scene in 2 just, oh god, just drives me crazy. It just makes me very, very uncomfortable. All right, guys, I'm gonna go another 5 minutes or so, and then that Mexican food's gonna come up before I go to bed, if you know what I'm saying. As everybody gets the fuck out of this stream because I'm grossing you out, but you know what I'm saying. It happens, but worth it. Let's see here. Review it, Rob. What was your favorite A24 film? Mine is Under Silver Lake. Andrew Garfield, baby. Andrew Garfield's, I think he's an underrated actor. A24 film. I can't think of A24 film. I'm gonna Google this because now I'm curious what films they like. I know what A24 is. I know some of their films, but I want to see what's on that list so I can answer this question. All right, A24 here. X Pearl, Hereditary, Men. Come on, Google. There we go. Buddies, Moonlight, Uncut Gems is an A24 film, but I actually didn't like Uncut Gems. Comes at Night. Damn, I didn't realize that they produced a lot of movies. I thought it was like 7 or 8 movies. It's looking like it's like a lot. My favorite A24 film from what I see is probably Hereditary. Yeah. Little Michael Jr., what's up, man? Says, what's up? What's going on, Nick? Watch some boxing while watching this. Gotta go soon, but just peeked in to say hi. Hey, appreciate you saying hi, man. Really thank you. Now go watch boxing. That's gotta be more exciting. Hope your guy wins. Let's see here. Ronnie says, would you rather be deaf or blind? I'd rather be deaf. Because there's hearing aids, right? But if I didn't have access to hearing aids, I'd probably still rather be deaf. I think it'd be scarier not to see something than not to hear something. But you can make a case that there's a lot of things that are scary to not hear. The movie Hush is a good movie. That's Mike Flanagan. It's about a deaf girl being stalked. Got a lot of kind of his homage to Halloween. But Hush is really good. My biggest pet peeve, my biggest issue with Hush is the intruder, the guy messing with her, has this like white mask. Not like a Myers mask, but like a white mask. Almost like a mask from the 80s that you could buy at like Party City that would say Michael Myers mask. But he's wearing that for the first half of the movie. I think he takes it off halfway through it. He should have kept it on the whole movie. It would have been a lot creepier. Wayne Turner says, at least Australian Toni Collette was in The Sixth Sense and Hereditary. Yeah, I forgot that she's Australian. Yeah, Toni Collette. Is it Toni Collette, right? Am I saying Collette? Toni Collette's great. Yeah. Ellie saying Smile is crazy. Yeah, I need to watch that, Ellie. I really need to watch it. Chris Fantasia says, Hush is great. Review at Rob says, be easy with those hearing aids. Freddie can get you with those and a chalkboard. Yeah, dude, for real. Absolutely for real. Oh, God. It's so ridiculous. But it's classic at this point. It's like funny classic, And Ronnie agrees. He takes the mask off way too soon. Remember Seinfeld. Colette. Night Fright Talk Show. How you doing? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Let's see. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is A24. Wayne Turner says. Why does that sound familiar? Is that Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? That's new, right? That is new. See, guys, I am like way behind on my movies lately. I get in these modes where instead of sitting down to watch a movie that is either I know is good, or from what I hear people saying is good, or that I tell people that I'm going to put it on my list, instead of watching that list, I just go and watch the same movies I always watch, my comfort movies, So it's interesting as you get older, you don't have time to just sit and watch movies all the time anymore, which is a little sad, but such is life, right? There's more important things than movies. I like getting on here and talking movies, but it's just talking movies because I like movies, and I like getting on here and talking to people with a common interest, even though we're going to disagree on a great many things. But it's fun to talk about. Oh, man. Ronnie with a good point. Ronnie says, Night Fright Talk Show. Please tell me you got a late night Johnny Carson type horror show. Dude, that would be awesome. That would 100% be awesome if there was a show like that. Night Fright Talk Show. If you have a show like that, that'd be great. You need to let us know because I have a feeling a lot of this audience would enjoy that. Adam Howard says, Ed Gale, who physically portrayed Chucky I heard this, in the original Child's Play, just got caught in a Chris Hansen-style sting and straight up admitted to being a dirty old man. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Yikes. Fucking sickos out there, I'm telling you. All right, guys. That is going to be it for me tonight. I just wanted to come on and test this rolling screen. Didn't really expect anyone to show up. But I absolutely appreciate you all showing up. Thanks for taking some time out of your Saturday night to hang out with me. It's always fun, guys. Tomorrow I'm gonna get my stuff scheduled for this week. There's definitely gonna be one live stream on Monday night. Might do a second one depending on how my work week goes. But if not, there's gonna be a couple videos coming out. I'm gonna be getting out my Idle Hands review for Mark, and Sandlot review as well. And then I'm gonna start amping up my Friday the 13th stuff here as we get closer to summer. So yeah, thanks guys. I will see you next time. Everyone have a great Saturday night. Rest of your Saturday night, I should say. If I can, end this.